there. Thanks so much for calling Argyle Bakery. What can I help you with today? Okay, so you want to schedule a cake tasting? That's excellent. Yeah, our cakes are amazing. I know I'm biased because I work here, but I'm not the chef, and yeah, I wouldn't be lying about this. So, do you have a day or a time in mind that you'd like to schedule the tasting for? Alright, so weekends tend to be our busiest time. We could definitely fit you in sometime in the next couple of weeks. Or if you wanted to do a weekday, those are a lot less crowded, so we could probably do that quite soon. Alright, so this Wednesday? Perfect. How about 7:30? Yeah, we're actually open till 10, so as long as you came in before 9 or so, that would be great. 8 o'clock? Alright. Great, so I'll write you down for Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And could I get your full name, please? And that's with an A? Alright. So, the way the tasting works is we have a whole lot of flavors. You can peruse our website, or if you'd like, I can read them to you now. And you'll choose 5 that especially appeal to you. So then you'll get 5 fairly big pieces to try. They're not the equivalent of a full slice of cake, but they're about half of one. So I suggest if you're planning to eat dinner beforehand, you have a light dinner and leave yourself some room. Yeah. So that's how much each person gets. We can do a group of up to 4. This is a wedding cake. Yeah, okay. And so are you the bride or group? Yeah. Okay, so in that case, if it's just the 2 of you, that'll be fine. If you want to call ahead of time and invite one set of parents or whoever, friends, we can go up to 4. But if you're gonna change the number, probably at least 24 hours in advance. Okay, just the 2 of you, definitely. Perfect. So, alright. So I've got your name. And this doesn't have to be decided yet, but I'll read you the types of cakes. So we've got the different sizes. Do you want to hear those now? Alright. So we've got a 3-tiered cake that's a little bit smaller. There's 2 sizes with 3 tiers. The bottom tier is gonna be 12 inches in diameter, so 1 foot. Then the middle tier is 8 inches, and the top tier is 4 inches. So that cake costs about $600. Yeah. Oh, okay, so I remember that being a thing. So you won sort of the gift package. Perfect. So maybe that makes this a little bit less stressful for you. Yeah. Well, I'll still tell you the prices because then they can be subtracted from the overall gift card that you've received. But that's great. And I'll have to put in your paperwork special for that at the time if you decide to order from us. But for now, we won't worry about it. So that smaller 3-tier cake, like I said, it's $600. and it serves 50 to 100 people. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, probably not more than that. Well, just so you know, so the next bigger one is 14 inches on the bottom in diameter, then 10 for the second tier, and then 6 for the third. That one serves 100 to 175 people. So if you decide you either want to have a larger wedding or a lot of leftover cake, it does freeze alright. But yeah, probably not. So that one's $1,000, just so you know. They're really, really beautiful. And this is one of those things that, you know, everybody likes cake, so I think it's a little more important than sort of fussing about colors of all the silver, you know, not silverware, but tablecloths and things. Not that I would look down on that. Yeah. Alright, so I won't read you the sizing of the 4-tiered cake then. I assume you do not want that. But we can do custom orders if you want something a little bit smaller. Just a single level cake, like a sheet cake, but very nice, well decorated. We can arrange that. But the 3-tiered, since it's paid for. Alright, perfect. So the prices that I listed here are for a basic white buttercream finish. That's just the very top layer on top of whatever flavors we'll be discussing. If you want to do a chocolate finish, it's $100 more. Yeah, and then for a fondant finish, it's a little bit more pricey. It adds $300, which I know sounds like a fair amount, but basically what fondant means is, you know, it's sort of, we can use it as a sculpting material. So if you wanted anything special to you on there, our artists are really talented. We had a couple who was really into bird watching, and they had some like really lifelike, just life-size birds on their cake that were fully edible. I know maybe not everybody's into that, but yeah. And we can do, you know, we can talk about whatever you might want in that realm. But we can figure that out if you decide to order from us. Alright. And then the last thing I'll mention, we can also do sugar flowers. So that's pretty much what it sounds like. They're these really beautiful, delicate flowers made of spun sugar. And we can do pretty much all the major types of flowers that people have wanted in the past. So sunflowers, those are of course not life-size, but very beautiful. Violets, we had bleeding hearts once, which maybe the word bleeding and hearts you wouldn't want with a wedding cake, but it went sort of around the edge of the cake and it was really beautiful. And then roses of all colors being, of course, our most popular. Yeah. And those are going to be priced per piece, so you can come look at them. We have some on display. And usually, you know, you're not buying a whole lot because they really draw the eye and they're sort of a final finishing piece. Yeah, and we can also do delivery to the venue if you live within a 2-hour radius. And I know some people feel more comfortable with that because you're a little bit afraid if you put the cake in the back of your car and it falls over, you know, you've ruined something that a lot of work went into. So if you want that to be on us, and if it happens with us, which it won't, we'd replace it. So yeah. Alright, so let's get to the more exciting part of this, which is talking about the types of cakes. So, do you want to look at our website, call us back, or shall I read them off to you now? Alright, yeah, let's do that. So, okay. So just keep in the back of your mind that you're gonna be picking 5 of these to taste. So if you want to take notes, yeah. Alright. So our first option is the chocolate truffle cake. This is basically the fundamental chocolate cake. It's layers of chocolate cake and chocolate ganache. No, that's totally understandable. Ganache is basically just a fancy word for glaze, and it's made from chocolate and cream. Basically, the cream gets heated up and poured over chocolate chopped right off a block. Yeah, it's really good. Okay, so that's the basic one. There's the raspberry truffle cake, which is those two things, the chocolate cake and the ganache, but with fresh raspberries on top of that. Yeah. And these cakes are all the same price, so that basically comes down to if you like raspberries or think your guests will, because it doesn't add a cost. Okay, so the next one, you'll notice these are all the chocolate ones, is the orange truffle cake. So we've got our good old chocolate cake, our chocolate ganache, and then candied orange on top of it. Alright, the next one we call the chocolate Fandango, and that is chocolate cake, the chocolate ganache, and then buttercream chocolate frosting on top of that. So it's basically butter and powdered sugar. Those are the main ingredients. So it's about as delicious and unhealthy as that sounds. But I suspect that healthiness in this one moment is not your greatest concern. Yeah. So, alright. The next one. So that was the chocolate Fandango. The coffee Fandango is basically the chocolate cake, the chocolate ganache, and buttercream, but it is coffee flavored buttercream. And I have to say, if you are eating your cake and drinking coffee, which I assume some people will be, this makes for a really amazing pairing. The coffee is not overpowering, and we could just as soon call it a mocha, because there's that really classic blending of flavors. Alright, so the next one is a hazelnut Fandango. So that's the chocolate cake, the chocolate ganache, and then hazelnut buttercream, which I have to say also goes really well with coffee. Alright, so our next one is the hazelnut meringue cake. That's got all of these flavors coming together. So it's got layers of chocolate cake, the coffee buttercream, the hazelnut meringue, and the chocolate ganache. So that's about half of them. So I hope you haven't been writing everyone with a star next to it as the one you want, because I know that's what I'd be doing. So alright. The next one, the last one with the chocolate base, is the milk chocolate passion fruit. So that's got chocolate cake, and this time it's a milk chocolate passion fruit ganache. So it's basically passion fruit flavored chocolate. So there's not gonna be seeds in there or anything, but you've got the really nice aroma and overall flavor kind of infused with it. And then that one's also got vanilla buttercream too. Alright, so let's do some vanilla ones. Maybe chocolate's not your thing. I think we generally suggest trying at least one vanilla cake or at least one chocolate cake, so maybe you'll be surprised and love one more than you think. And of course there's always the, one base and then the opposite frosting. So alright, the traditional vanilla cake has got layers of white cake and vanilla buttercream. And we can also do that, so we can do it plain or with raspberry or apricot preserves. Yeah, I was a little bit hesitant about apricot, and I like raspberry better, but they're actually both really good. Alright, so then we've got a strawberry vanilla cake with layers of white cake and vanilla buttercream and fresh strawberries on top of that. And these are all from local farms, so you can feel good about supporting local businesses, and also that they haven't traveled a long way to get to us. So when we say they're fresh, it has maybe a little bit more meaning to it. Alright, so then we've got the raspberry vanilla cake with white cake and vanilla buttercream. And I know I mentioned raspberry preserves earlier. This one comes with fresh raspberries. Alright, so there's 3 more. Those were the vanilla bases. Now we've got some kind of special bases. So one is the lemon cake, and that is a lemon-soaked white cake with lemon buttercream. Yeah. So, these are all good with coffee. I mentioned some before. I have to say this one's really good with tea, like some black tea and some lemon cake. Yeah. And the next one is a coconut raspberry cake. So the cake itself is coconut flavored, and it's got vanilla buttercream and raspberry preserves. Alright, and then lastly, we've got a passion fruit cake, and that is passion fruit soaked white cake with passion fruit buttercream. So it's a strong flavor, but if you like passion fruit, you will love this cake. Alright, so with some of those, I'll just let you know we can do a few substitutions if you ask ahead of time. We can do pear slices. Peach is a little bit harder to, okay, so that's out anyway. What else? And some other fruits by request if it might cost a little more. But out of these bases, do you have 5 of them in mind? Do you want to call over someone and consult briefly. Alright, okay, so yeah, that's one. Yeah, no, these are great choices. Okay, so 3 chocolate base, and then okay, and that one, and last choice. Okay. So I'll tell you a secret, which is what sometimes ends up happening is we have extra from recent cake tastings. So even though you're choosing 5, there's a very good chance that you'll actually be able to try a different flavor, a couple different flavors on that day. Okay, so yeah, just to clarify, I have you down for 8 o'clock on Wednesday. And it's just you and your partner. So, alright. Those 5, and then it's probably gonna be the smaller version of the 3-tiered cake. Okay. Yeah, so I think I will actually be working that day, so I'll be excited to meet you and to see what you think. Yeah, and feel free to give us a call if you want to make any changes or have any additional questions. Great, thanks so much. Have a lovely evening.